Hi guys! Yesterday was my first official day in China and a lot happened and I'm very tired, but I just kind of want to share what I've experienced so far and how things are going in this video today. So first off, I would say that my jet lag wasn't too bad. I woke up at about 7 a.m. because I think my flight was an early flight at 6 a.m., which I've also done a vlog. Feel free to check that out. But I was pretty tired, not gonna lie. I did get up and I got ready. I wasn't able to eat breakfast though because I had to fast since I was having a physical examination that day, which was the day after that I had arrived in China, and so I had to fast for blood work. So I just kind of tried to survive without food, even though I was feeling very groggy and very tired as it was. So without food it was probably even worse. I left the house at about 10 a.m. with my mom and we went to the phone store first because there were a couple things that I needed to do and make sure that I had done before I went and checked in at the school, and getting a phone number obviously was one of them because I needed to be able to call, and I also needed to set up my bank account, which required a phone number, so that was the first thing that I went to do. And so I bought a SIM card and I purchased a very cheap plan. It was about 9 yuan per month, which is a little bit over a US dollar, so very cheap. It came with 40 minutes of calls and conversation, but there was no data, so that means that I had no access to internet or Wi-Fi outside. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem because tomorrow I'm actually going to go and check in with school, and then once I do that, hopefully there's going to be a student plan, is what the guy at the store told me. He said that they offered student plans, which were often cheaper and came with data plans and being able to call and everything like that. So I may get some data after that once I purchase a student SIM card, and of course if they don't have that, then I will just go back and probably ask to add on to the plan that I already have. But the only thing is, if they do have a student plan, I'll have to change my number, and that's going to be difficult because my bank account is connected with my phone number, so I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work yet, but I guess we'll see, and I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. And so after we went to the store for the phones, we went directly to the bank, which happened to be right next to each other because it was at a chain of stores, which was really nice, so we didn't have to travel too far. And the people at the bank were super welcoming and super nice. I literally have not seen such exceptional customer service at a bank before, but then again, I haven't been to many banks, but they were offering drinks, offering snacks, helping us with every step in the way, which I was super grateful for. I think they made that experience less stressful than it otherwise would have been. So I created a bank account and got a bank card. It's a little bit different as an international person, so you can only spend a certain amount within the first couple of weeks or months that you have your bank card. I think that the amount was limited to 20,000 yuan or renminbi per day, and so that was a little bit restrictive, and I needed to pay for my tuition, which was 26,000 renminbi, so that was a bit of an issue. But I think that I will probably be able to just kind of swipe it. As long as I'm not paying them and they're taking the money, it should be fine. I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna work. And something I want to share that happened at the bank to kind of give you a more realistic aspect of how my experience has been in China is just I was asked to write down a couple of words, phrases saying that I was a student and I don't take taxes and whatever, and I had to write it in Chinese, and it was a little bit awkward because there were some words that apparently I didn't know or didn't write right, so it was there was a bit of issue in terms of the communication, and I started to doubt my Mandarin skills, but I think that's something that will hopefully improve over time. At least that's what I'm telling myself right now. But overall, getting the bank account was pretty smooth, and having that set up was definitely something that will be useful in the future when I do need to spend money. And after we finished that, we went to the clinic to get a physical examination done, which is required for international students. So you can either have the option of getting a physical examination in your home country, but that would have also required going to the clinic anyways and kind of getting it approved, which I feel would have been more of a hassle. So I just decided to do it in China. There were swarms of people there, and it was honestly a little bit intimidating because I didn't really know what to do, and everyone was standing around. But my mom did help me figure out how to get in line and receive a number, and they would call my number, and then I would check in and do the examinations. And there were 59 people in front of me. The physical examination time period was from like 1 to 2:30, and I got there at exactly 1, but I guess that wasn't early enough because there were already 59 people in front of me, and so that was a bit of a wait. And I guess that's kind of like how it is. Like, there are lots of people in China, and I imagine that there are a good amount of international students for study abroad as well, and so I was just a little bit shocked at the raw amount of people, because in the US, when you get like a physical examination, there's maybe like 1 or 2 people in front of you, at max like 5 to 10 people, right? So 59 was a little bit crazy for me, but I think that's a lot how the hospital system works in China. It's a little bit different in the US. So it's like there are these huge hospitals, and they're public hospitals, and so if you want to go, you have to try and get like a number and get in line, but sometimes it can be extremely hard to do that. So it's just, I would say, because I think healthcare is very different in different countries, that discrepancy was a little bit daunting to me at first, but I think that's something that I probably will be able to get used to eventually. Anyways, aside from that, we had to travel up like 4 flights of stairs because they had different examinations at different levels, and I got 4 things done, which was blood drawn first, and then I had an x-ray, a general examination, which was just kind of like checking your weight, your height, your vision, and an EKG. Those were the 4 things that I did, and honestly, the actual examination was relatively fast, maybe like half an hour max, I would say, because the lines weren't too long once you actually made it up to the rooms and the floors where you had examinations done, so that was nice. And then after I finished the physical examination, I was able to go back home, and I kind of was just like so tired and done at that point, so I went to sleep, and here I am now making this video. Overall, I would say my experience in China has been okay so far. I think just there's a lot of things that you have to do before you actually get to go to school and things like that, so I'm just kind of a little bit stressed out, very tired, and a little bit nervous about having to finally go to school and meet all these people. And I am also a little bit concerned about my Mandarin skills, but again, that's something that I think will hopefully improve as I start to go to school and interact with others. I will say that my vocabulary is a little bit limited, and there are certain phrases that I can't entirely express, but again, that's something that I hope will improve over time. And so that's basically how my first day in China went, and I look forward to many more. I will keep you guys updated on how school's going and everything like that. So if that's something you're interested in, or if you enjoyed this videos, please consider subscribing, leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time.